Real estate strategy without the spin. Here's what you missed from this week's Friday Focus on KGCI, Real Estate on Air.
The real estate biz is drastically changing, and modern real estate success can't be learned in some old course manual. This is everything they never told you about real estate, where industry leaders expose secrets to success, contemporary lead generation, and how to dominate social media. All moderated by your host, the real estate goat and queen of social media, Carrie Sauvé.
Hey, it's Jennifer Jones here, and I am co-hosting this amazing podcast with Carrie Sauvé, who was on stage this past week at Inman. It was absolutely unbelievable, I am sure. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend and see it, which I so desperately wanted. So because of that, Carrie, I need a recap. So let everyone know who was actually on stage with you. Like, what was this panel that you were a part of?
Okay, so I had, oh my goodness, this is the second time we're taking this.
No, it's the first.
Okay. So it was a panel about top agents and what they're doing for marketing mixed with new tech. And of course, I was there to talk about AI. Our moderator was a woman named Sydney. She owns her own marketing company, specifically social media focused. And my panelists were Carrie McCormick, who is one of the top luxury realtors at Christie's in Chicago. And then there was Karen Stone, and she has a TV show, which is super crazy. She also, she's a comedian. So the night before, we went to, I think it was called Gotham Comedy Club in New York City in Manhattan. And she was on stage. So we went to support her. And it was really exciting because we're watching the show and everybody's great. And then the host comes out and he says, okay, everybody put your phones away. And I'm like, somebody famous is here. So it was Jim Cafferty. I think I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he's a famous comedian. He's been in the movies. You know what? We're going to flash a picture of him on the YouTube video so that people know who the hell I'm talking about. I probably completely butchered his name. I don't know any celebrities' names though. And that was pretty wild. Apparently, Jerry Seinfeld pops in once in a while. And that's the really cool thing about New York City is you never know who's going to show up. And that was day one. That was the day we landed in New York. And that was super fun. But of course, the panel was phenomenal. We were on stage the morning of day one. So if anybody knows about conferences, any speakers out there, day 1 a.m. is like the best time slot that you can get because I feel like the momentum and the energy is so huge. Yeah, you just can't beat that. So I feel like there were a couple thousand people there, a couple thousand realtors and tradespeople, I'm sure, supporting industries. So it was a lot of fun.
And so you would have stayed to listen to a lot of the other panels and speakers that were on as well, right?
Yes. There was a lot of talk about AI, rightfully so. What I kind of led with and my message was centered around AI is affordable leverage. Okay. So you can no longer count out Joe Blow in the office next to you can't break through $80,000 a year because he can't afford a marketing team or the support staff he needs to scale. Now leverage is so affordable with AI. So I think that if this is my prediction, JJ, my prediction is that over the next 2 years, you're going to see the the atmosphere, all of the top producers you're used to seeing year after year, that is going to look a lot different. You're going to see a lot of names that you've never seen before. And the reason is the scalability with AI. It's going to come down to those that choose to implement it, learn to do it properly, and actually commit, right? Because it's available to everybody, but not everybody is going to embrace it, right?
No,
And
exactly.
I'm scared for the teams. Obviously, not you. You're one of the top teams in Canada. You got your AI game on point. I've made sure of that. But there's a lot of teams that are not embracing it because they are a top team and they don't feel any urgency to make any changes. The consensus is if it's not broken, why fix it? And I feel like they're going to fall behind, and they're going to fall behind those that they've been counting out the past 5 years.
That makes absolute sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that must have been a big theme of the conference, right? Especially if they put you on like your panels going that first day in the morning. So was that kind of like a theme that ran through the conference with different panels? Like, did you hear other, groups and different types of agents embracing?
Yeah, there were several agents using AI and talking about AI. The one that I was really excited about that I missed because we left that day, and I don't know why they put him on the last day, because if you know conferences, if they're 3 days long, the third day people are flying out, right? Was one of the founders of OpenAI. And if you guys know me, ChatGPT is my holy grail, right? So yeah, I really would have loved to see that, but I do have the recording, so I'm going to go back and watch because
amazing.
There was a somebody talking about AI with Canva. There was a lot of talk about AI, and I think that in our industry, there's still a lot of people that are pushing back on it because they don't trust it, and they don't trust the information that's coming from an LLM like ChatGPT. But I've got an easy solution for that, and that's feed the LLM the stats and the data. You're going to significantly decrease any room for error. And
He's chewing my bag. I can hear him. I'm like, you little
bad boy.
Sorry.
We have dogs.
Poodle.
We're dog owners.
Yes.
One thing I saw that I really liked before I even got to Inman was one of their biggest sponsors was a New York City shelter.
No way.
That's
shelter. So great.
And I thought, oh my God, I love this place.
Right? I saw actually on the videos with the puppies that were there. They had dogs there. I guess they're up for adoption.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. Yeah. Well, it's fascinating to me, like, before meeting you and, starting to follow all your tips and tricks that you offer, on your Instagram stories and all your posts. I wasn't really embracing AI, right? It wasn't from fear. It's just from busy and being focused and concentrating on what we're doing. So it's really changed our business. And, I do believe that exactly what you're saying, if you don't get on board and sort of jump in and embrace it and learn from the best people in the business, not, like you are now, the consultant for EXP for the international brokerage on AI tech, right? So people need to go to the best people and learn from them, not just kind of going to like an average person that's trying to teach something. And it's fascinating to me as well. Even, you'd show me your back end of like different training programs and all the stuff that you have, you are like highly, highly organized, and your brain works in such an incredible way as a trainer, like, and an instructor, the way that you present information. So you can take something very complicated and actually dumb it down, for the rest of us. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, yeah, I think it's super important for people, like, and getting your free content, like being able to, follow you and get those tips and tricks every day, because you're looking at all the new technology, all the new AI, all those apps that are coming out every single day, and assessing what could we use, in the form of new technologies that will help streamline the business. So you've talked a lot about these, like chat GPTs, right? Like all these
Yeah.
different things that you can do. So do you want to touch on that? Because I think, like, let's just say we had an average realtor who's, going out doing some deals every year. What are the AI sort of hacks they should be putting into place that would kind of streamline their business, where they're not having to hire assistants and,
Okay. So, okay, first I would start with, since we're talking about how AI is affordable leverage, let's first talk about, those tasks that are really time consuming, that you need a lot of skill for, and that are super expensive. And we just had a phone conversation about this, video editing. So let's just pick that one, for example, because
okay.
you actually hire somebody to edit your videos in a really engaging way, using B-roll and pictures and animations and captions and all of that fun stuff that makes a good video, because that is a good video. I think that most of us do not have the skill set to do that. If we do have the skill set to do that, we do not have the patience or the time. And it
Agreed.
is so expensive. Even on Fiverr, I was looking at, when I started this podcast a year ago, I was looking on Fiverr video editors, because if I'm going to hire somebody, I want to hire somebody good. They were priced for like one YouTube video between $150 and $350 for one
Wow.
video. And you need
Wow.
to be generating at least one, if not two per week. And then you
Mhm.
have all your short form content. And it's like, what the? So honestly, that's one of the first tools I would start with suggesting for realtors, because there are AI powered video editors like the Captions app that I use for my short form, and Veed.io for my long form videos. And what they do, they have so many AI features. They have the animated captions, they have the transitions, they have the B-roll and the pictures that you can literally just add with a click of a button. It's in the library of the actual app. They have eye gaze redirect. One of them has a zoom in and a zoom out option, and even sound effects. So now your video, using AI and with, a few clicks of buttons, can look like something that was professionally edited and that cost you like $150 for a short form video that's under a minute long. So I think
Wow.
that's so you need to look at adding AI tools that save you money and save you time.
So
And
AI tools.
maybe that you need a high skill set to accomplish yourself. So I would start
So
with the
what
video.
So starting with the video, and then in terms of like communication on social media platforms, like, is there anything that anyone could be using,
Yeah.
to manage some of those inquiries, or let's say on their website as well? What would they do?
Okay, so for social media, I use a tool called ManyChat. And
Oh, bloody hell. Hang on.
Will be one moment, folks. He's a good boy. Stop. He's a good boy.
He's such a jerk. Oh my God.
While
This
you
is
were
what we
over
need
there, I'm
today.
saying, stop. He's a good boy.
I know.
This is what makes our podcast the most fun, right? This is real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not, we're walking the walk. We're not like highly produced over here. And guess what? The YouTube video that you're going to watch of this after is going to be edited with AI.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
for communication on social media, I highly recommend a tool called ManyChat. It has literally changed my business. Okay. And it gives you the ability to capture a lead, nurture it, and convert it all within your DMs automatically. So it's an automation tool and it uses AI to build your messaging and your flows, they're called, right? Your automations. So that's something everybody should check out. 100%.
Okay. So basically, yeah. So you would use ManyChat to kind of handle some of those the inquiries that come in on social media. So
yes.
could you do something like let's say you were advertising a property as a realtor, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Could you say like for a for a list of all the listings we have, the pocket listings, the exclusive listings that are not on public realtor, type, exclusive into the chat, and
Yeah.
then it will send you a list of all available properties, like something like that. Is that what you mean?
Funny you should say that because I actually have 2 free done for you automations that are targeted at buyers and sellers that you can plug
That's
in
smart.
to a free ManyChat account. So I'm actually going to link that in the description of the video for anybody who's interested.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
You're so generous with everything. Okay. So now we have, all right, so ManyChat for communication on social. What about on someone's website? Like, can they get an AI bot to kind of chat with people as they inquire? Like, do they need a company to do that? Or is that something that, let's say, you could do for them?
So that's something that I could do for them. It's a little bit more complicated. There is a way to connect ManyChat to your website, just so you know. But that is automated and not AI speaking to them in the moment, if that makes sense.
Okay.
For that, there is what I can build is a custom GPT that is backloaded with all of the knowledge of your company, either from your website or whatever, for you, JJ. Okay. So we would take your website, we would take your bios, we would take your unique value proposition, and we would also program it to have the sole purpose of booking a phone call with somebody on your team. And then I would connect that to a third party site where I have the ability to connect the third party site to your CRM, your website, your ManyChat, all kinds of cool places. So now when somebody asks a question, it's actually ChatGPT answering it. And it's using your knowledge base, and I'm setting tight parameters for the chat bot to stay within. And I'm making sure it does not veer off topic because we don't want the chat bot to be answering questions about the weather. We want it to be answering questions about your services. And if it can't, it's booking a call with you, which is the end goal, because even though we have the ability to simulate these conversations with AI, you cannot avoid having that conversation with your clients. That's in your leads. That's just, come
Oh
on,
no. You mean as realtors, we have to talk to people?
yes,
Oh my goodness. So
but
what about, and
it,
on that topic,
yeah,
when you and I were down at EXP Con and you were on stage, remember that evening presentation? It was like a special presentation that was done specifically about AI. There
yes.
was a company on that was
Mhm.
doing, they had built out like an inside sales agent
Hmm.
AI.
Yeah.
And they've been beta testing this, right? So there's a team actually in the US with EXP that is beta testing this. So what was your, like, what are your thoughts about that in terms of like, is that something that, you know, you and I can build out? Or is that something that maybe needs a little more time? What do you think?
I think it needs more time. And this is where we get into the ethics of AI. Okay.
Okay.
So, first of all, I have talked to a couple company, Air being one of them. Air has been on the forefront of these phone call AIs. You know, it's like an ISA making phone calls for you, but it's a robot. And when I spoke to them, I feel like it was in like September or October. They weren't there yet. Their accuracy rate was in the 70s, and that's just not good enough for me. When it does get closer to 100%, I'd be more open to it. However, I would be disclosing that it's AI right at the beginning. I just, listen, we're
Was
real.
that one? I think that I was going to say, I think that one was right. I think they were disclosing
I
that it
just,
was AI on the call.
I feel like we're in a relationship based business. And
Mhm.
in order to gain a client, you need to gain trust. There has to be a
Yeah.
level of trust no matter where that lead's
Agreed.
coming from. If it's coming from social media, you've gained their trust through your video content creation and them getting to know you online over and over and over again, which is why I tell everybody to post so much. Um, I just I'm not liking it for realtors. If you want me to be
Okay.
100% honest, like I
Mhm.
might use it, but I have a different company. I have an AI consulting company. So I feel like if I'm not using it, how much do I know about AI? Right? Like I feel like it's a little bit different. Whereas, yeah, you yeah, I'm just not.
So
I'm not
what
recommending.
about, okay. Yeah. So you're saying like more time, it's still a belly to belly business. So using it for like messaging, getting people some basic information, which takes a lot of time, but it'll give them to them instantly, which is what people want. And then it leads them to ultimately book and have belly to belly contact with a human, right?
Absolutely. That is that, and that's a personal opinion and a personal
Mhm.
outlook on how we should be
Mhm.
running our business. And I realize not everybody is going to share that opinion with me, but it's just mine.
So what about, I would see like going forward into the future where, you know, if you're having a consultation, let's say like a basic consultation to go through some questions to figure out whether someone qualifies for rent to own or, um, let's say like even a rental application, right?
Hmm.
What's to stop someone from having like, you know, a physical person, like even you or myself, you know, having a voice, that AI video bot has a voice,
Hmm.
and then programming in all the possible answers to the questions, right?
Hmm.
So it's almost like you're sitting here with a person like you, but you're AI and you're simply answering, you're asking and then recording information and answering basic questions to figure out whether or not they kind of go to the next level. I'm just
Hmm.
thinking about ways that you're removing all of those labor intensive jobs that take a lot of time, and a lot of times those people won't necessarily qualify for that and need to go a different direction first, like maybe building
Yeah.
credits, right?
Yeah. And I think in terms of rent to own and leases, that might be a really good
Yeah.
solution. But when
Yeah.
people are selling their $1 million home,
Oh no.
I feel like it's not a good thing, because we both know that leads are hard to convert, guys. Shocker. You know what I mean? So the quicker that you can align with, have somebody, even an ISA, make a connection, a human connection, the better the outcome is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah, I
my
don't
personal
disagree with that.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for leases and rent to own and really like triggering situations like that, yes. Yes. I believe if I ran my business through leases, I would definitely use a lot of AI pre-screening, because
Yeah.
I don't deal with leases,
You-
but when I lease my own house out, I get 50 applications in a week, and
Mhm.
45 of them don't even come close to qualifying.
Right.
So,
We did 100 last year.
mhm,
And that's the challenge. We have new TRESA rules, of course, which complicate it a little bit further. But I feel like there has to be better
mhm.
ethical screening methods for that. The other interesting thing, I would see in the future having like literally a robot, like a screen, right, that someone could remotely control. But the robot would be programmed at properties to go through, like on an average price property, to go through and actually point out features of the place as people walk through, like take them on a tour, explain all the amazing things about it. And then maybe there's like a 10-minute live with the agent at the end if the buyer agent and the client have more questions, like something like that.
There's
Can we
something
build
like
that?
that.
Right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something like that, I believe, already. One of the women on my panel is building a virtual showroom. I don't know if it's
Yes.
exactly the same, but I'm going to get the name of that company for you,
Yeah. I
because
think it'd be super interesting, right?
hmm, yeah, it would be definitely. And
And the
guys,
truth is, like a robot, though, like something that's programmed, is not going to miss any information, right?
mhm,
Like, so, and for an agent coming into an area to show property, like let's say they're coming to show one of our waterfront properties, right?
mhm,
They don't necessarily know the difference between like an owned property versus some of it's owned by the crown versus, a part of the waterfront has interest from the township,
yeah.
like there's so many little intricacies that I feel like if you could basically program a bot with all of those information that was on the property physically, maybe it would even show some interesting pictures on its screen as it's going through. I feel like
Yeah. How
it
about
it
this?
stops it being so labor intensive.
How about this? Because I met somebody at Inman who is he's a tech broker. So he's the middle
Okay.
guy, a tech consultant. So he's the middle
Mhm.
guy that recommends which tech to use and represents all these companies. And he brought up something really cool that I just had a great idea. What if we have a hologram made of us that is in the home for when the buyer agent goes in with their client?
Yes, a
That would
hologram.
be so cool, wouldn't it?
They've been doing it not in showings, but the technology is there, right? So I
Yeah.
had a client that we sold for here, and they actually had oh my gosh, they were doing the Tony Robbins hologram, like where he'd show up in a hologram and
Mhm.
do one of his crazy sessions. They were
Mhm.
actually doing the technology for that for Tony Robbins. So I feel like, and that was quite a few years ago, like maybe 4. So I feel like the technology's there. It's like, how do we, is it financially viable, right? And how do we make it so? There's got to be a way, right?
Right. So I feel like I'll find a hologram company. This is now on my to-do list. I'm going to find a hologram company and I can build out the AI and give it the parameters around what it needs to talk about or what questions it can answer while the buyer and the buyer's agent are there. And at the
Let's
very
do it.
least, I think this is going to pop off for luxury agents.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
So
I mean. I mean,
you're a luxury
luxury.
agent out there, you need to get a hold of us because I'm going to build this
Yes.
for you.
Right. And we do a lot of luxury. And I feel like, we show up to all those listings. So we show up physically, we open for each one. And I feel like this would add a layer of like where they have the privacy for their showing, but they've
Yeah,
still got so much of the information as they go through, you
absolutely.
know. So it would be a game changer. Be a game
Okay, this
changer
is
for
this
sure.
is on my list of things to do, and this is why we're partners because
Right.
you give me the ideas and I figure out how to turn them into reality.
This will be so amazing. I feel
Yeah.
like it's like a game breaking, moment in real estate with
Mhm.
AI, with all the changes. And if you jump on board and embrace it and really take the time to dream about what else we could do, like what else can we do with AI? And that's what I
Mhm.
just think is so cool about you, Carrie. So, what would be like from Inman for myself, every time I go to a conference, I always work to find two things I can take away that I would implement right away, like even in the real estate business, or not just in the real estate business, but even like running a big team, even for our agents. Like,
Mhm.
what are two things I learned that I could implement that would help the business?
Okay, so I'm not doing a lot of trading in real estate, but after leaving that conference, I would make sure, like, let's say I'm not me, okay?
Okay.
I would find somebody who could create custom GPTs for my business that are trained on my information for my team that have basically, I would turn all of my SOPs into AI bots. That's the number one thing I
When
would.
you when you say SOP for the average person, what is an SOP?
Standard operating procedure.
Okay.
So every team, every producer has SOPs. I don't think you could be a top producer without them. A set of procedures that you always follow because the whole idea is to keep the client experience at a high level all of the time. So you have systems, right, that you follow to make sure that that happens. Well, I can turn your systems and your SOPs into custom GPTs so that everybody on your team, whether it's just support staff because you're an individual agent, or whether you're a team and you have a bunch of agents on your team, that way you have a cohesive level of service and production happening everywhere on your team. So I would set the I would feed it with the knowledge and the standard operating procedure. And then I would set the tight parameters so that nobody can veer away from that, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
that,
So
yeah,
absolutely it does. Yeah.
yeah.
So you're getting the continuity of the client experience. It's predictable, right? And that's the biggest thing.
And
So I love that.
I think that agent retention, whether you're a team or whether you're a brokerage, is so important right now. And the higher level of training, even just the experience around training, that could be increased significantly everywhere. Everywhere. I don't
Agreed.
care who you are or what your stuff looks like. and I've got some really cool AI tools. One of them is a Chrome extension. It will capture your keystrokes and your mouse strokes for all of your systems and create beautiful PDFs for you with step-by-step instructions and pictures. That's the first one. And the second one is it will take a video, an explainer video, and create SOPs and documents from the video. So, anything you can do as a business owner to support your staff, your agents, it's going to be a game changer for your business. I would focus on streamlining all of that as well.
Yeah. And I think that's generally where the weakness lies,
Mm-hmm.
I find, for most like independent operating agents,
Mm-hmm.
is the ability to like take a standardized approach where everything is a checklist. You're anticipating already what the client's needs are, whether that be a buyer or seller,
Mm-hmm.
and basically delivering it before they know they need it, right? And so to do that at a high level and get that repeat referral business, you have to have a system and a process. So this is just a way of automating it, like having,
Mm-hmm.
someone like you who's amazing, help automate that and make it a more predictable experience for the client, and therefore more repeat referral business for the agent, right?
And good news, we were just talking about affordable leverage. These are 2 free tools, free AI tools that will literally take the place of another admin. Because normally we would go through our day, and admin would follow us around, take notes, and manually document everything that we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, now you don't need to.
No, you don't need to. So amazing, right? It's just taken us like light years ahead so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So for a new agent starting out, I like to not overwhelm, right? Particularly new agents, because they're getting a fire hose of information. But what is like the one important AI app, let's say, that they could use that you believe would help them do business in some way, shape, or form?
Okay, so first I want to say with new agents, we aren't focusing on the documentation of the systems. All that they care about right now and all they should care about is generating business. Okay?
Yes.
So AI in itself doesn't generate business. But if it's applied to money generating systems, it will be a cash cow. Okay? So really either aligning or taking some kind of program that implements AI into money making activities so that you can this is a numbers game. This is what I'm going to talk, like I'm talking to new agents. This is a numbers game. And the more people you can get in front of, the better, right? That's how you're going to make money. And you want the AI to help you get in front of the most people. So social media, scripts, creating entire funnels, right? So I feel like using AI and ChatGPT specifically to create entire funnels to generate the leads, nurture the leads, and help you convert the leads is really what you should be focusing on.
Yeah, I love that.
So don't go and buy a bunch of freaking ChatGPT prompts, okay, people? Because the AI does not generate business. It's the workflows and the systems that it's applied to that does.
Yeah. And I think that in combination with having an amazing CRM, right? Like using something like KV Core, which is what we all have access to. That would just sort of amp it up to the next level, right? Because there's so many amazing plugins with that CRM.
And KV Core,
Yeah.
That is your database management, your CRM is a vital piece of the funnel. You do not have a funnel without a CRM. So obviously, like, okay, so JJ, for my program, I have people asking me all the time, well, I just want to take the AI section, or I just want to take the social media section. And just to let you guys know, this is what the program looks like. It's CRM database management with KV Core specifically, social media from basic to highest level for content creation, specifically video content creation, AI for your entire business, and then automation. There's 4 parts to my program. You cannot just take the AI, or else AI is not going to help you make money. You can't just take the social media. Well, you could take the social media, but how are you going to manage the leads and convert the business without a CRM? And just to let you know, the amount of content creation you're going to need to be pulling off is going to give you a whole other full-time job if you're not using AI to help and automation to help that. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are, money generating systems. This is a whole funnel that you're applying AI to. And I will never split them up. Otherwise, nobody's going to be happy with what they get, because they're not going to. This is our main purpose here, is to make money and improve our client experience, right? So if you're not using what somebody is selling to make money, there is no point. Leave it.
Yeah. And it sounds like for your, the click funnels and the automation to move them through that workflow, for a new agent, simply, advertising properties to buyers, right? That in turn, those buys are going to get you people that also list. Therefore, you have sellers. And obviously the focus for the business as a new realtor is to focus on listings, because listings are leverage. From every one listing, you should get 2 buyers, even in this kind of market. So yeah, I just think this is so valuable.
Yeah.
So Carrie, you are doing a lot of speaking on stage over the past year. And I know you have a couple of speaking engagements coming up. So do you mind just sort of mentioning what those are?
Yeah, absolutely. I am at the Realty Firm on the 7th of February. I'm
with
doing
Ryan Hodge.
Hey, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Looking forward to it. And then on the 1st of March, oh shoot, I forgot. Monday, I'm on a virtual AI summit in the US. So that's pretty cool. Tuesday, I am doing a Zoocasa client exclusive presentation, which is going to be super fun because I love Zoocasa. Free leads, right? Great
Free
stuff.
leads. Free leads. Anybody want free leads? Call us.
If you want free leads, let us know. I will direct you to them. And then on the 1st of March, I am flying out to speak at Dominate, which is an amazing event that John Tsai, our president of EXP Canada, is putting on. And I'm going up right before Glenn Sanford, which is be super fun.
You're also speaking, I believe, on the 28th of February. Are you not?
Yes, the 28th of February in Toronto. I think that's like Hotel X, right?
It is Hotel X. Yeah.
Yes.
Tickets are $49 for that one. For anyone that wants tickets, we can get them tickets.
Perfect. And then I am over in Ottawa for Aurea Realty Plus. So I'll be speaking with Magic Johnson, and that one's going to be super fun. I feel like that's the 6th and 7th of March. And then I'm flying out to, is it the 6th and 7th? Let me double check. Everybody knows when Realty Plus is. I feel like I don't even need to say it. This is our governing body for Ontario, and all of you should attend. Just going to put that out there. And then I'm flying out to Nashville on the 14th to speak at a commercial agent conference, which is going to be fun because I've never been to Nashville before. And that's all I've booked so far, but they're coming in like fire right now.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Yeah. And I think just that generous spirit you have and all the free sharing, you've been doing is how these opportunities have been created for you. So I'm just so proud of you and excited, and I love seeing you on stage. So everybody, you should be come out and see us. It's going to be so great.
Especially the Toronto one, because it's this is our home, right? So
it's Toronto.
It's great.
It's going to be so good.
So great.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing. So any sort of last tips and tricks that you have for anybody? Is there anything interesting that you think would be helpful?
Here's something very helpful. So many people are overwhelmed by AI. AI is not that hard. Okay? Nobody in this entire industry has to figure anything out for themselves anymore, because there's experts that have already gone down that road, figured out the best way to do things, created systems around them, and is now sharing them with you. So there's no excuse. And when you have somebody telling you exactly what you have to do and how to do it, it just makes your life so much easier. So embrace that, because I'm telling you right now, I learned AI from the bottom up, and I am not done learning. And it took me over a year, to get to this point. And this is my full-time job at this point. Do you all have the time to do this? No. So,
no.
Yeah. Take the information that's given.
Yeah. And that's it. That's why we're grateful that you're doing it, right? You're doing it and just equipping all of us with those amazing, amazing skills. And I think that's why our brokerage, from my perspective, is that much further ahead, because they embrace people like you and put you into positions of leadership within the company and help everybody else, right?
Absolutely.
So
Best decision I've ever made in my life was coming.
Right? Me too.
I'm just going to throw
Me too. Exactly. Well, so grateful for any time I spend with you, you amazing woman.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And guys, if you have any questions at all, I am literally the easiest person to find. I'm on every single platform that exists, and I am in your face every single day, 5 times a day. So just reach out. I'm really accessible. That's all.
Amazing. All right, everyone. Well, I believe we are signing off for today, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Everything They Never Told You About Real Estate. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. To connect with Carrie, or for more information about her coaching program, check out carriesauve.ca or at Carrie Sauve and Associates on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.